Hiya, welcome back. Well, today's the day that I just thought I'd come and have a quick look at the old Falmouth Maritime Rescue Centre, MRCC Coastguard station here at Pendennis Point in Falmouth. And now for a number of years, I think it was about 5 years or so, I was a auxiliary Coastguard radio operator, would you believe, at the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre. And what I did was I was a volunteer. I did 6-hour watches. The first 3 hours were answering telephones, 999 calls and general inquiries, and then the following 3 hours, final 3 hours, was on the radio transmitter as a radio operator, and I'd be talking to mostly small vessels, yachts, ships, fishermen, that sort of stuff, if they had problems or they wanted to give yacht passage details, that sort of stuff. And I used to collate it all and do that. But occasionally we'd have a couple of incidents, or a major incident, and I was involved with a few of them. And I was trying to think to myself, what one could I tell you of one that I was involved in while I was there? Okay. Incidentally, DJ Rick, he was also a maritime a Coast Guard auxiliary radio operator. He qualified as well, and so I knew him, and obviously I knew his father, who was a Coast Guard officer up there, senior Coast Guard officer. So yeah, anyway, so I was trying to think of something that that might be of interest to you that happened to me when I was up, because I was involved with quite a few things at the time in the 80s. And I'm thinking back to 1985. I went in on a Sunday, so I had the morning watch on the Sunday, and it was Sunday the 11th of August 1985, and I came up as normal, and they put me straight onto the telephone. So I was on the telephone desk, and I was briefed as well by the senior watch officer that the Fastnet race had started the day before from Cowes, and they were due to have the yacht sailing past and blah blah blah. So there may be some increased sort of, and also the media, that sort of thing. Might get some phone calls from the media. So he pre-briefed me beforehand, so I wasn't going to get too stressed out with everything. Like, he said, look, don't worry about it all. If there's too much, one of the other officers will take over, or will help you with some of the calls and stuff. So anyway, not thinking much more about it, settled down to my own, just more mundane stuff was coming in. Anyway, eventually the 999 call came in, and I answered it, and it was from a member of the public who was he sounded quite distressed actually, and he said, I've just seen a yacht overturn. I said, well, where are you? Give me the details. And he said he was on a footpath over somewhere near Portscatho, or between Portscatho and Mevagissey, and he said this yacht is overturned and there's people on top of it and it looks in distress, So anyway, as I was doing this, taking all the details down, the voice, there's a little button you used to press, I think, so that everybody else could hear it, and there'd be other people making decisions, like the senior watch officer and other Coast Guard officers deciding whether to go straight away launch a lifeboat or launch a helicopter from Culdrow's 771 search and rescue, and they were already making those decisions as I was taking the call from the person in the telephone box, because of course we didn't have mobile phones in them days. So that's what happened. I took all the details of the thing, and then it kind of went on from there. Now, I fulfilled my duty that day, and what transpired is quite funny really with it all. We launched a lifeboat, and luckily 771 helicopter got there and rescued just about everyone. They dropped an old friend of mine actually called Larry. Well, he's a friend of everybody in the Fleet Aero. A chap called Larry Slater, and he was the guy who went on This Is Your Life and rescued. He rescued Simon Le Bon, dragged him out. He was still inside the hull as it was overturned, and he actually went in, which is quite a feat, to be honest with you, if you've been capsized in a yacht, and I have, because all the sails are everywhere, and all the shrouds and all the other rigging is all over the place, and you got all the other, life jackets and other flotsam and stuff, and you can get entangled in it, and you can drown. So, and it took a lot of guts for Larry, bless him, to go in there. you know, save Simon Le Bon. Anyway, he saved him, and I think it was a Monday. The yacht was eventually towed, uprighted somehow and towed in. I think it was Monday or the Tuesday. They towed it into Falmouth, and I took a picture of it alongside County Wharf in Falmouth, like, you know. And all the press were, I think it was at the Falmouth Hotel or something like that, where Simon Le Bon was seen hiding, and all his entourage were all there. So yeah, so that was quite interesting. So that was one little incident that I was a little bit involved in. I only answered a bloody phone on the 999, but I took the first call, all right, on that one. So that's my claim to history. And I hope you found that interesting. Anyway, I haven't done an awful lot today. Rick's actually met both his daughters. I took them to Truro, picked up his daughters, and they had a little meal. And he's feeling a little bit better today. But I've come out here to give him some more rest, and yeah, so just generally I'm going to sort of, I think we're going to have some cheese and wine tonight, and so I'm going to do that, going to go and collect that in a minute, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's nice telling you and meeting you all, and remember, look after yourselves, all right, take care, right, be honest, and just have a good time. And I'll probably do maybe one more video diary to finish the weekend off. Take care.